Hello guys, Beastie here with another video, and today I'm here to talk to you about the XFL Day 1. So, really, first of all, first initial thoughts on the XFL. I love the league. It's amazing. We can get into all that in this video. Alright, well, let's go with the first game though. It was the Seattle Dragons at the DC Defenders. I don't know if I posted a video on my XFL uniforms ranked or whatnot, but after watching them live on TV, I like Seattle Dragons more in the Defenders jerseys. And the first game, DC Defenders showed they were a lot better, I thought. The game wasn't too bad. It was 31-19, and just the DC Defenders looked good, and that was probably because their quarterback, Cardell Jones. I'm just trying to get the best lighting in here. I can't find it. It's probably like right here. Yeah. DC Defenders, though, had the better quarterback in Cardell Jones. Brandon Silvers was the quarterback on the Seattle Dragons. And I, frankly, was not impressed one bit. He didn't have that good of a game. He had like 2 touchdowns and like 3 picks. Cardell Jones, his game wasn't statistically wise amazing, but he had a really, really solid game. So don't get that wrong. He had a great game, but he also wasn't the favorite quarterback I saw yesterday. He was definitely the better of the two in the game, but he by far was not the best quarterback I saw yesterday. My first thing I initially saw, after watching the initial, as soon as I turned it on, like 2 minutes into the game, I immediately saw the kickoffs were better. I really like the kickoffs. It's the way the XFL is doing it. I absolutely love it. The only part I'm a little iffy on is a kick out of bounds brings it to your opponent's. You get the ball at your opponent's 45-yard line, and I know they're trying to like limit out of bounds kicks and really trying to penalize, but like just because you don't kick it to the 20-yard line or you kick it out of bounds, you go to your opponent's 45. That is just. It's too forgiving. It's a little bit too nice. I don't think they should. There's no way I don't think you should get the ball on your opponent's side of the field from a kickoff, is my thought on that. So, in my opinion, they're a little bit too forgiving. But everything else about the kickoff, I like 100 times better in the XFL. I liked it. More exciting. I wanted to watch the kickoff. NFL now, I have the Game Pass. Sometimes I watch a couple games. And I skip over the kickoffs. They're either a run to the 25-yard line or it's a touchback, which the ball's on the 25-yard line. They're not fun. They're not entertaining. XFL, I'm like, here is the kickoff. I want to watch the kickoff. But yeah, I watched it too. I'm gonna try to watch the other two. I'm supposed to go bowling with my family later, so we'll see if I. Of course, the game I wanted to watch is the Vipers versus the Guardians. That'll be the game I missed a good chunk of probably. But I'm going to try to come back and watch all of the Battlehawks and the other team that's playing. I'm blanking. Battlehawks and the Renegades, the Dallas Renegades. I told you I knew I'd get it. It's just only a matter of time. But yeah, the Seattle Dragons don't look good, frankly. And I don't know how good the Defenders look either. I'm not a huge fan of either team, really. I don't think any of those teams are capable of winning the championship. Who knows yet, though? Like I said, I'm only judging them off those teams. The Dragons might be really good, or the DC Defenders might be amazing. But why I'm saying I'm not a big fan of the Dragons, why I don't think they're going to make it, is because of their quarterback, Brandon Silvers. He does not look good enough to win a championship in this XFL. He might be the worst quarterback in this league so far. Who knows, though? We got to wait to watch Aaron Murray, Landry Jones, Matt McGloin, and I don't know one of the quarterbacks' names. But, by the way, if you get interested in the XFL, I recommend buying tickets soon, because the more this league goes on, it's on big channels like ABC, ESPN, and Fox. So it's going to catch on quickly, I think. I think a lot of people are going to start liking the XFL. So if you want to buy tickets, especially for like a championship game or just any tickets, I'd recommend doing it now. I looked because I was curious, And I looked at tickets, and they're like $48 a ticket, right? $50 a ticket, which is not bad. And you're like right on the field for $50 a ticket. So like they're cheap right now. So I'd recommend buying them now. As soon as this catches on, tickets are going to skyrocket. But no, sorry, but I keep looking at my computer screen. I'm trying to get stats for you guys for the offensive players. Brandon Silvers went 21 for 40, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. I mean, that's not awful. And I watched the game, and he wasn't awful during the game. He made some really good throws. Just I didn't like a lot of them. Like, if you see that's 19 incompletion, I was not a fan of Brandon Silvers watching that game. Cardale Jones, on the other hand, 16 for 26, 291 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, and some of the plays I seen that guy make was nuts. And you also got to look at the rushing stats. I mean, Cardale Jones didn't have a lot of rushing stats. He only had 9 rushes for 28 yards. Brandon Silvers had 1 rush, 1 yard. But Cardale Jones definitely was the better quarterback in this game, and he can honestly do something for the defenders. I said how both of these teams I don't think are championship teams. The defenders, if Cardale Jones gets even better throughout the year, they can be good. And how they can use Tyree Jackson, some other run formations. Their backup quarterback, Tyree Jackson from University of Buffalo. They put him in once. He had 1 rush for 5 yards, and he got sacked the other 2-3 times he went in. But he definitely has the ability to do something really good. And the 2 top receivers for both of them were something Prohl and Eli Rogers for 73 yards. And the Prohl guy, 13 on the Dragons, got 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. But that's the first game. And no, LA Wildcats versus Houston Roughnecks. When the game was close, I was more entertained at this game. But then the game got out of hand, I thought. And then it was less entertaining. This game can't be the championship because there are 2 of the teams are in the same. There are 2 teams in the same division. There's 2 divisions. One division has the Renegades, Roughnecks, Wildcats, and Dragons. The other one has the Defenders, Guardians, Vipers, and Battlehawks. And but these guys, I think both of these teams are probably going to be the 2 teams. Before seeing the Renegades, I could see these 2 being the 2 teams in the championship, in the West Championship. So not the champion of the whole league, but the champion of this division. And this was a phenomenal game. I thought we saw 2 very talented teams. And the Wildcats don't even have their starting quarterback, who's supposedly supposed to be the best quarterback in the league, Josh Johnson. I'm going to tell you the quarterbacks. You had the backup, something Knopf. He was okay. I thought he was honestly better than Brandon Silvers, and he's supposedly the backup for the Wildcats. And I thought he played better than Brandon Silvers. His stat line wasn't better, really. It was 21 for 40, saving, I think, 214 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. So his stat line wasn't really better, but I thought he played better. I liked some of the throws, and he was more mobile than him, going 4 carries for 21 yards and a rushing touchdown. But we have P.J. Walker, who was my favorite quarterback yesterday. So if I had to rank quarterbacks from yesterday, it would be P.J. Walker, Cardale Jones, Knopf, and then Silvers. And P.J. Walker played phenomenal, and he by far looks like the best quarterback in the league. He had 23 for 39, some amount of 272 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 pick, but the 1 pick came after they were up by 20. They won 37-17, so they were already up by 20, and it was late in the 4th quarter when he threw that pick. It was just kind of trying to put a couple extra points on the board. He forced the ball in the coverage. Now, if that was a game-winning drive, I would maybe have thought differently to P.J. Walker, but they were already up by 20. But yeah. So that was my thought. P.J. Walker was my favorite quarterback. He did really good. He had 4 carries for 26 rushing yards too. And these games are really good. I'm very entertained. And the other thing I like about the XFL than the games, those were kind of just like quick overcaps of the game. Things I like about the XFL. First of all, like I said, when I was talking about the Defenders game, I really like the kickoffs. The kickoffs are amazing. They're better than the NFL kickoffs. I want to watch the kickoffs now. Second, I want the extra point system. I really like. It can make it. So this game is 20 points. It can make 20 points be a comeback like the snap of a finger. And the other big rules that I caught on to, you need 1 foot in bounds for a catch. In the NFL, you need 2 feet down and control of the ball for a catch. And in the XFL, you need 1 foot down with the control of the ball. So that's pretty cool. The other big one is inside 2 minutes, the clock stops at the end of each play, even if you're tackled in bounds. And then for the clock to start running again, they have to spot the ball, 5 seconds run off the play clock, and then the time starts running off the game clock. So in the XFL, you have 25 seconds to snap a play, which is 15 seconds faster in the NFL, but you have 25 seconds to call a play and snap the ball. So once the ball is snapped, that 25 seconds starts running down, and once that play clock hits 20, the actual game clock starts, so then it'll start ticking down from 2 minutes. And I like that rule. It opens up the playbook for more offense. There's also a double pass rule where you could throw 2 balls inbound, like you could throw 2 forward passes as long as the first pass is still behind the line of scrimmage. So like the quarterback can back up 10 yards, throw it 5 yards in front of him, but since it's still 5 yards back from the line of scrimmage, he can throw the ball again downfield. I like that rule, but we didn't see that yesterday, not from my remembrance anyway. I was also distracted. I had a friend over watching the football games. I was a little distracted. I didn't get every play, but like I watched most of the games. And I didn't go to saw a crazy reverse play, at least if it worked. And those were the big rules I saw. I'm trying to think if I can remember any other rules. But here's the other thing like about the XFL. Those are some rule changes, and I liked all of them. For the NFL, it's the NFL, so I think 2 feet should be down in the NFL. But for the XFL, I have no problem with 1 foot being down. It's just the NFL is the best of the best. I think you have to have 2 feet down to have it a catch. The referees I thought were honestly pretty good yesterday. I thought the referees were solid. And the big thing that I like is it gives you insight to the players and the coaches and the referees and the people in the booth. So now in the NFL, when a coach's challenges, you have the announcers talking about whether they think it should be a confirmed or reversed, and they tell you why. In the XFL, it puts you right up in the booth, so the actual people that make the decision, the actual people that are reviewing the play, you hear their thought process on whether to review or to either make the call standard, reverse the call. You hear their thought process on it, which I think is absolutely amazing, and that's how you kind of know there's no bull crap. The XFL is owned by one owner, but there's like no bull crap in this league. This league cannot be faked, and how much they give you insights to. They give you so much insight. You hear the coaches' plays, which is weird. Like you don't know what they mean because it's like course 2X Z45, like, and that wasn't even close to a resemblance to one of the play calls. They're so obscure, you're never going to remember a play call, and they're going to, like, change every week. But you hear the coaches calling plays, you hear the coaches game plan. After a drive, they will interview one of the coaches for, like, quick 10, 15 seconds after a drive. Now, I do say, the one downside I had with the XFL yesterday is the game seemed really long. There were 3 hours, same length that I'd be watching an NFL game, but it seemed way longer. And that's not a bad thing, even though at the same time it felt longer because the NFL that we're used to watching on a Sunday, that 3 hours has a lot less content in it. The XFL is 3 hours, but you're watching a lot of it. You're probably watching 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes. NFL, you're 3 hours and you're watching like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. So you probably get an extra half an hour of content and you just get more of it. So like the same amount you get out of an NFL game in 3 hours is a lot less you get out of an XFL game. So the XFL games seem extraordinarily long. Because like I'm used to like getting the same amount of content from an NFL game. So that, like I said, that same content It honestly seems like it's halftime we get the same amount of content. It almost seems like the content we get in an XFL game is doubled. I doubt it's doubled, but like, you guys understand what I'm saying. So the XFL felt long, and that's not really a downside. Once I get used to watching an XFL game, I'm going to be watching an XFL game, and the games I think are always going to be a lot closer. Like I said, 20 points is nothing with this league because you can get 3 points after a conversion. And the one thing I was disappointed and I wanted to see yesterday, if I see it today, I'll be pretty happy though, is the overtime shootout. I'm not going to explain how that works. You can watch a whole bunch of videos on how that works. But there's an overtime shootout, and I really wanted to watch that yesterday, and I thought I was going to get it in the Dragons Renegades game, but it just didn't happen. The Renegades, not the Renegades, the Defenders. The Dragons and Defenders game, but the Defenders pulled out quick towards the end. But I probably shouldn't go too much longer. My phone doesn't have that much space on it, and I'm doing 16 minutes of video. It's going to kill my storage. But hopefully you all enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts on the XFL and the script in the comments below. And peace out. See y'all next time. I screwed up my outro so bad. Peace out, y'all.